And there we go. Hey, everybody, happy Wednesday. Or if you were watching the recording, hey, how you doing out there? My name is Anthony Moreland, coming to you live from Dallas, Texas. And this is a training call we do every Wednesday night. Me and Michelle, we started probably about, it may have been about 5 months ago now that we actually been doing this every Wednesday as together. We both had trainings. We decided we wanted to combine them together and then, train our teams. And so like every Wednesday, you guys, we love to pick somebody on our team or that's not on our team that comes to the call and have them share their 2-minute story so they can get practice in front of other people. And so tonight, our guest that we're going to have do that is Mr. Lance. So I'm going to ask Mr. Lance to unmute himself here. And so, Mr. Lance, we I don't know if we told you or not, but we throwing you on the spot. And we want you to, if you don't mind, if you could share your 2 to 3 minute story, pretty much to RX Nation, to the NewAge family, just share, your 2 to 3 minute story. And Lance is an amazing guy, you guys.
All right. Well, yeah, that's pretty much put me on the spot. Didn't know this was going to happen. But anyway, my name's Lance McAllister. I've been in the construction industry for 30 years now, as a carpenter and polishing concrete. And that's been my background. I kind of got out of high school. I had dreams and aspirations of being a kicker in the NFL. And I was pretty good at a young age, and life happened. I ended up having a daughter and then starting my family at 20 years old. And, I just kind of settled into that groove of, well, I guess I'll just be a carpenter all my life. Um, Through those years, I've progressed all the way up to I'm a project manager. I have reached the highest point of my career that I can be at without basically owning my own business. And I never had the money to actually go out on my own to buy my own tools, to get insurance, to start everything. So I just kind of fell into that that area of, hey, this is what life is going to be from here on out. At the age of 42, the years of construction just beat me up, and my back went out on me. I had to have surgery uh, to be able to walk. That's how bad off I was. After my surgery, I was
Listen,
interested.
brother.
After my surgery, I was introduced to Limu, and I started consuming that product. And my children at this point were in getting out of high school, going to college, getting married, starting their own families at this point. And my why for getting up every morning to be a carpenter uh, just kind of faded away because I felt like that was, I had no purpose. Not saying not a purpose, but it, the job wasn't fulfilling to me. So um, I'm at a point in my life where I'm looking for something different. I've been using these amazing products for years now, and it's time to move on and start, creating a business, something that's going to give me time freedom. Because in the construction world, I lost a lot of time with my family. It was rush, go to the event, whatever my children were doing, and then turn around and get right back to the job site. A lot of weekends, a lot of hours put in, and I'm just looking for time freedom. I got grandchildren now. I got goals that I want to accomplish physically, and it takes time freedom to do that. And there's no time freedom in construction. You have to be on the job. You have to be working, and that's what I'm looking for with this year. That's one of my goals is to create more income with this business, so I can start creating more time freedom for myself and kind of let that career go and start a new path. So that's my story.
Thank you so much, Lance. You rock, my man. Hey, I'm so glad to be on this journey with you as well. I know I threw you on the spot. Uh, Wait, it was Michelle. She threw you on the spot, really. So. Okay.
I kind of did throw him on the spot tonight, but I did that because Lance, you had some success tonight, and we wanted to congratulate you for that. So, can you tell us a little bit about that? Because tonight, Lance shot me a message and said, "Hey, I'm sitting down with a friend to watch a video. Can you hop on a three-way here with me in a little bit?" And so after their video, I hopped on. So Lance, would you tell us a little bit about how that went? And congratulations on enrolling your newest rep tonight.
Thanks for that, everybody. Yeah, kind of so to continue from where my story just stopped, new year, I did the GoPro event not too long ago, and then I went to the training, the event we had in Florida, for ARIIX, and it just kind of got the juices pumping to get into this business, to really put my all into it. And I made a few moves at my job to where I've been able to free up some afternoon time for myself. And so I started making phone calls. I started making more deliberate posts on Facebook, kind of saying, "Hey, look, this is where I'm headed. This is the products I'm using. These are the things I'm doing." And I I took Coach Palmer's 3-5-5 system, and I said, "You know what? This is a small enough chunk for me to do that I can handle." I think my biggest problem was that I've always looked at the end goal and was overwhelmed instead of saying, "Okay, well, what's the first step to do?" And when Coach Palmer told us about the 3-5-5, I just reached out. I started making some calls. I was like, I didn't care if I got a yes or a no. I just needed to start making contact. And one of the guys was like, "Hey, yeah, I'm available tonight." I started making calls last week, and I finally got somebody available tonight. It was just kind of on the spot. I thought something may have happened, but he jumped on it and he came. I was able to get in touch with you, Michelle, and we did the little three-way call. And that three-way call was something that I've always, in the past, when I tried to do the business by myself, and that's what I did. That was my biggest mistake. I tried to take this on all by myself, just like I did my construction business. In the construction world, there's nobody out there to help you. You got to know what you're doing, or the competition is going to eat you up. With this, that's how I tried doing the business all these years. Was just I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna get it. Tonight I did a three-way call, and it turned into a rep. Somebody's excited, ready to go. And yeah, it's just, and I got more contacts. I'm filling up the pipeline, so to speak, filling up the funnel. Hopefully here, I'll get another person within the next day or two. And for everybody who's on here, my immediate upline is no longer in the business, so I am kind of out on an island. I think me and Anthony are kind of on the same leg, sort of, but we have the same upline. It's Anthony wouldn't benefit from anything I do. Michelle tonight didn't benefit from anything she did for me, other than she got practice because she got to tell her story in front of somebody. And we converted a rep. We got a new member of the ARIIX family that came in tonight. So that's what happened tonight, and hopefully within the next couple weeks we'll just keep repeating that. Send out the video, and that's what I did. I made contact. I made a phone call, sent them the video. They watched the video. Hey, this looks pretty interesting. Okay, let's see if we can get you on a three-way call with somebody. And and it worked.
That's fantastic, Lance, and way to go using the systems that we've put in place. And I think Steve is probably the one who, where I heard the 3-5 or the 5-5-3 strategy from the very first. So, Steve, thank you for sharing that with us. And this is a great opportunity for you to hear how that's working, you know, for other people who are listening and hearing that advice coming to fruition, you know, by putting that into effect. So I have some people, we've got some new people on our call tonight who've never heard that before. So wondering if you might be able to expand on that just a little bit. So I've got some people in the chat asking, what is this 5-5-3 strategy that we're talking about here? So you're phenomenal with that. And so I wonder if you would share with that a little bit about us. And then we've got, or for us, and then we've got a couple other questions for you.
Absolutely. Well, it's good to be here, everybody. How's it going? I'm out here in California. Yes, it's still a place, and it's exciting. And so anyways, I just got back from Florida. I was in Mexico, all because of the lifestyle that you know, NewAge ARIIX actually provides. So it's something that you can work for. And it all started with doing things just like what Lance was speaking about. And if you want, I can also give you a couple little tips on testimonials if you want to do that. Not that I'm super expert. Everybody's always learning in this business, but I've been doing it for 20 years. So might know a couple things. And so we can do that. But the 5-5-3 is really to get you into action, right? And 3-5-5, call it whatever you want to call it. But basically, the idea there is that you want to give yourself a chance to be successful. Okay. So first of all, you're going to need basically, let me see here. I don't want to look at myself while I'm talking. What is that? That doesn't look good. Let me see here.
My bad, I hit the spotlight, but if you just hit gather.
Staring at my face, what the hell's wrong with me? I was like, dude, I'm gonna do some push-ups, you know, get on back on this challenge. I can't even move my arms right now, but I decided I didn't post my picture because I look like an orangutan. I don't know if you've ever seen an orangutan, but dude, after I came back from Mexico, it was ridiculous. So I said, you know what? I did submit it. I don't know where it went, but it went somewhere. So someone has some hideous pictures of me, and I said, I'm gonna do this. I did lose weight a few years back. Obviously things have happened, life things and different things like this. And I took it down where I really got pretty skinny. Like I was like really thin, and probably not where I wanted to be. And so this time I've got a little different plan going. So I think we all want to be improving ourselves always, no matter what shape you're in. So I'll get back to that, but like, this is a chance for you to create your story. Right. So you can create a story, and our business isn't ever built by giving people facts. We were this and blah, 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 blah. No one cares. No one cares really. Like they don't care if you're like #1 in the world. I mean, maybe #1 in the world. That's cool. Maybe some other outside agency gives you kudos. You can always use those things, but that doesn't really matter that much. What matters is real people, real stories, getting results. And that's what you want to focus on. You know, someone's skeptical of something, say, hey, you know what, I knew that. You know, I was kind of skeptical too, but then I entered this transformation contest, and literally within 2 weeks, I was down 14 pounds or whatever it is for you, right? Or I took it and you know, my energy levels increased. I was no longer, whatever your story is, right? So, and you want to relate different stories to people. So that's why you come on calls like this, because you'll hear one person did this other person did that. And the next thing you know, you've got yourself all these little feathers in your cap that you can pull out and use for when someone asks questions, or when someone says something. Like now, if I was talking to someone that's in construction, or you know, something like that, or contracting or carpentry or whatever, or project management, I could use an example of Lance, right? Getting going and working on the business. So that's why you want to do, that's why you want to create your own product story. And then you can always turn that into a business story, a reason, right? So the product story will be your results on the contest. And don't give up if you screw up and all of a sudden you find yourself on day 4 eating a pizza and you're like, I'm screwing this up or whatever. Like, get back on the horse, you know, don't just give up and have the long term. And even if you don't win, right, you're going to win for yourself with your own results. It's going to make you a believer in the products. And so take it serious, even if you've been in the company for 10 years, 9 years, whatever. It'll reestablish your belief in products, and it'll also help you in every way. So you want to get your own story with that. And what that does for the business is you can say, like, let's say it's the end of the contest, right? And you're like, you're like, wow, I was able to drop 20 pounds, or I was able to drop 15 pounds, whatever it is, 30 pounds. I lost 30 pounds in 60 days following this simple program. And I was like, I've tried everything. And then this finally worked. I mean, do you know anyone that would want something like that? And then as you're talking to them, say, and it also got me going that this would be a good business, because how many people do you know in America or over here, wherever in our town or whatever, that would want to lose like 10 pounds, 20 pounds? I mean, they're like, shoot, everyone, me, I want to do it. Yeah, exactly. So the fact that it works so well in 60 days, I mean, that just proved to me how great a business this is. More people, I could see more people, and there was thousands of people participating. And so that seemed like a really good business to me. And that's why I got started in this. And, do you know anybody that would maybe want to create some other income, right? Something like that. So you can always create stories. Do you guys tracking with that? Yes, no?
Yeah, that's awesome, Steve. And I love where you're going with this. Would also love to know, so as we're doing this transformation challenge and we're having those experiences and building those personal testimonies, what would you say to those people who feel like, okay, our period of time into, December coming into January, where we're getting people their pack to start at the beginning of the challenge, now that we're started in it, they're feeling like, oh, I missed my window because I didn't get people started ahead of time. We know that there's great opportunity here still ahead of us. How do you help people to continue?
Jump on board. Hey, this thing's work. I mean, I don't know if people can people still enter afterwards or no?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Rick just said, they can start whenever. They just will be behind.
So whatever. So they're behind, but still they, that's cool with the contest, but then also be like, just encourage people. And then also the people that you bring into it, don't do the hide in the foxhole, go down in a hole and never talk to the people you brought in, right? It's easy to do it. I know, I don't want to talk to them because what if they have a question and they don't like it or whatever, right? We break all this stupid stuff in our head. We make all this stuff up. So what I would say is make sure you're checking in with them. And then ultimately, if you wanted to do the most ultimate, even if, if you wanted to document your journey on your Facebook, but don't mention the damn products, please. Don't mention the name of them. Don't mention any of it. So if you've been doing that on social media, the reason I say that is you're trying to get prospects interested. And you want them to go, what the hell are you doing? You don't want them to go Google Slenderize and now they're on eBay or something. You know what I mean? Whatever, right? You don't want to do that. And you don't want to say, oh, I've been using these products and they're really great. Everyone on Facebook's like, good for you, dummy. I don't really care. What they want to know, right, is what they want to know on Facebook or Instagram or wherever you're at is they want to know your journey. So if you threw your before and after pictures on your Facebook and said, yep, I'm making the plunge. And then you create curious things, right? Say down 5 pounds. This has been pretty simple or something like that, or you create questions back to people, something like you post a before and after and you say, here goes, anybody else trying to fix their health in 2021, whatever, or something like this. So you get engagement. And then those people that respond and say yes, then you can get into messages with them. What are you up to? Oh my gosh, find out what's happening with them. They can become a lead. Anyone who likes it, that's not in RX or Slender, or NewAge, then you can basically start getting, hey, thanks for liking my post. What have you been up to lately? Getting conversations, bring it onto a telephone, talk to the person, find out what's happening with them. They become leads. It's pretty simple. You can create your own leads. But if you documented your way through for the next 2 months, if you had 2 months of Facebook posts And maybe you posted what you ate today. Say, hey, anybody ever tried a green drink? Whatever, right? Anybody, blah, blah, I don't know, like whatever you're doing. Or you could take a picture of like the water bottle, say, man, no more like this, and say, how much water are you drinking today? But they don't see its purity. You don't have your links anywhere. Stay away from that. Get people engaging, create curiosity. What would make someone say, well, I want to know about that. What's he talking about? Right? So you want people to do that. Does that make any sense? Like if you say, I've been on the Slenderized Transformation Challenge and it's great. Do you think anyone's going to ask you about it? No. Right? They're not going to. And that goes, well, Steve, isn't it great? Well, yeah, but you're trying to get someone that maybe you know or don't know on Facebook, who's one of your friends, or maybe you use a hashtag on Instagram and you attract someone into it and they see it and they say, what is that? Right? And so, and you talk more about the benefits of what's happening. Are you saying, hey, what? I have these 2 little bottles. You can have Slenderizer right there, but you don't show them. And you can say, or you can just say, hey, this bottle right here, it's crazy. It like takes away your cravings. You start talking about some of the things that actually do, but speak like a normal person. Speak like a carpenter. Speak like someone who's not going, it's homeopathic and blah, blah, blah. No one wants to hear that. Does it make sense? So the more simple speak you use, the better it is. The reason the 553 system works is because you're not the video. You're not explaining. You're letting something else explain. And all you're doing is getting good at having conversations with people, finding out what's happening with that person. Where in your whole business and the products and service, whatever, what can you do to help that person? And then you listen to that person and you basically, like a doctor, listen and say, oh, I could throw them in. And you're going to pretty much figure it out right away. Like weight loss, energy, make more money. And then you show them the video and then you follow up and you get the third 3-way call in, because no one builds a business by themselves in network marketing. It's pretty boring. It's pretty lonely, and it defeats the purpose of leverage. So everyone wants to, bring in somebody else on the call to help them. The concept of 553 is doing those posts, getting people interested. That you would have 5 new people that you would invite to look at information. Now, if someone says, yeah, tell me more about that, it doesn't mean you just send them a link. Say, hey, can we chat real quick? And then when the chat real quick, or when can we talk? And then you get into a conversation, you find out what's happening with the person, what's been going on with them, where they qualify, and then you invite them from there. That's what I would do. And that takes a little more stuff. It's easier just be in your little Facebook Messenger and just say, hey, if you're interested, look at this, right? Like, but you don't really know what's going on with John, right? Like you have no idea. So you're just guessing, and it's easier. So you pass up least resistance. I don't want to talk to him. No, talk to the person, get them on the phone, talk to them. Okay. So the 553 is you'd have 5 new people that you would be inviting to look at a video. Right? Could be the Todd Rowland, the RX experience, right? That one, right? So you try to get 5 people to watch that video, or maybe you want to have them watch a video on Slenderize, whatever it is. Okay. You have 5 people looking at a video, 5 new today. You follow up with 5 people from the previous day. So I had 5 people I invited yesterday. I have 5 follow-ups. And then I want to make sure I have at least 3 people watching a video every day. Okay. That's the 3. I want 3 people today to watch a video. I'm not a math major, but all I know is, like, if I had 3 times 30, I don't know, Anthony, what's that, 90? That's 90 people.
That's 90 people.
If you had 90 people reviewing your video this next month, you could really not be that great at RX, NewAge, Limu, and you might have a chance. Do you think?
Yep, definitely.
Right. And how much better would you be by having spoke to, 150? Invited 150 people to look at something? I don't know. In there, you might get some questions. You might have some people say some stupid stuff. You might have whatever. That's how you get good. And then all of a sudden you become a rock star, but you got to go through that. You got to go through that pain of, and it's not pain. I mean, come on, like, what's pain? Driving DoorDash is pain. Some lady pulled up my house. I think she was 65 yesterday. She's dropping off DoorDash. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like my grandma's dropping off my mom, it's not even it's somewhere in between, right? And I'm like, I'm like, wow, is that nighttime? And she's driving DoorDash. You know, what is going on with them? These people could be doing a lot better, right? Like we have a solution for them. They don't need to be doing that stuff, right? But they don't know, right? They don't know what they don't know. Maybe they tried something, whatever. What I'm saying is people want to make more money, especially now. This whole thing going on in the world, it's not getting better. It's actually, as much as we get charged up about everything, if we get caught up in it, honestly, I don't even want it to go away, honestly, because it's the best damn thing that ever happened to our business. Like the fact that this stuff's going down is so good for us. Because not that I'm for COVID, we obviously people have passed away. I'm not talking about that. Just the everyone can't move around. They can't do their business. They're shutting this down. They're shutting that down. Depends where you live, but the mass majority of the country, things are very limited for people. People are working from home. Companies are going to go like cutting. They're going to start cutting the fat off because they're going to look at, I'm paying all these people to stay at home and work, and I don't need as many people now. They don't need all the office buildings. People are going to need ways to make more money. Okay. And so you have a great solution. So think about that. Be confident in that. Be confident. Okay. So 553 is how many? What is it?
5 invites.
Invites. I speak to someone. I learn about them. I invite them to learn about the water bottle. Blah, right? I invite them to see the ARIIX experience. Well, they looked at it. Now I got to do what? 5 follow-ups. And I want to make sure of all the people because people don't always do what they say they're going to do. 3 people looking at a video a day. You want to go crazy, double it. Okay. But like, let's start somewhere. So this next week you could have like, you know, if you did it starting like, if you did it every week, I mean, gosh, you're going to have more success. Okay. And you'll start to see where maybe you messed up, or you'll be on a 3-way call and you'll hear someone say something and you'll just get better. You're just going to get better. It's like repetition. Repetition is just going to happen. Unless you're just like real thick and like, you're like, I can't retain it, but you're not like that. Right. So you're going to get it. You're going to understand what's happening. But if you only give yourself a chance and you only invite one person this week, and then they don't get around to it because they've got a flat tire or whatever, then your business is going to go really slow, right? And by the time that person gets going, then you get another person going, then this person gets like, oh, I don't know, and they quit, and now you're back to 1, and then like, you know what I mean? Like, so like you got to get the numbers going so you can be successful, right? And take each little victory, and don't try to like, oh, I need to be at this income and this much money this time. That's a lot of pressure on yourself. Just do tomorrow, I'm going to do 5 invites. I got it before I go to bed. I got to have 5 invites. I don't know what it is, where I'm going to find these people. I'm going to have 5 invites. I'm going to have 5 follow-ups. Well, if I haven't followed up yet, if I haven't done that, well, I probably have called someone in the past so I can follow up with them. And then I'm going to have 3 people looking at video. If I do that for the next 5 days, 7 days, and then I do it for 3 weeks, I'm going to get myself into momentum. If you mess up one day, like I said, just like eating the pizza that we shouldn't eat, don't beat yourself up. Okay. Get back on track. Now, I don't know if I answered your question, Michelle. You said something. I went off track a little bit, but is that
you very much answered my question and then some. That was fantastic. And I always appreciate the way that you just jump in and run with information. And I'm reading in the chat here, just people are taking so much value from what you're saying. You know, people are having aha moments and love the creating curiosity with your posts and not, you know, blasting our information out there, you know, that people can just go Google it. That's something that's easy to do because we're excited about it, but what a different perspective. And thank you for sharing that about how to, you know, post our journey, share our journey, tell people about what we're doing, but not the specifics, so that it generates curiosity, so that they want to reach out, so that we have the opportunity for connection and opportunity to educate on what we have and what we do. That was absolutely perfect and very helpful information. So I thank you. Anthony, I think you had some other questions for Steve.
Oh, well, well, he kind of, when he jumped out there, he talked about how the transformation throwdown can be beneficial for you, even if you don't win, you know, you go through it, you lose 10, 20 pounds. Now you have something to tell somebody. But I did want to comment on Steve. I mean, Steve, if you follow Steve on Instagram or Facebook, not one post has he ever said NewAge ARIIX. Nothing. He just shows people his life. So now when he does that curiosity post and he reaches out to a friend, guess what? They're gonna go look at his wall and be like, man, this guy's traveling. He look like life is good. You know, what is it that you do? Because I want to know what it is. And that's what curiosity posts. I know me and you talked about that, Michelle. Me and Ashley talked about that. Curiosity posts, or just that's what everybody should be doing. You can take people on your weight loss journey, like, you know.
Oh man, you could totally do it. Like I would do the weight loss journey because you're on it now. So like if you could even it's not always comfortable, but if you made little videos on your phone and just said, all right, day 2, boom, I ran into this. I was like, almost went through the McDonald's. I mean, whatever. I almost went through Wendy's, you know, like, but I didn't do it, right? You could make it that funny on your little stories, right? And people, especially on Instagram, if you use the hashtags and stuff on Instagram, you'll do more with your stories to get people following you. And then your posts are probably less. But if you did more stories, and then, you know, put a post, you're going to get more following that way and probably some more interaction.
Yeah, now I'm going to do a training. I forgot when I'm going to set it up, but I'm going to do a training, show you how to get more followers for free on your stories, just based off of tagging the other big name people in your post, but hiding it, and also using the hashtags and hiding it without you going to Steve's, you know, story and they got 50 people he tagged and 50 comments, and the only thing you do, you barely see his face because everybody's tagged. I'll show you how to hide all of those, but you still have 50 tags and 50 hashtags. I'm gonna do a training on that just so y'all can learn. I mean, that'd be free followers. I mean, I get 5-10 free followers every single day.
That'll
Yeah,
be awesome, Anthony.
This will put
Thanks,
you
Steve.
into action. This will just put you into action. And that's where the rubber meets the road. I mean, guys and gals, if we don't have people looking at our products or our business, then we don't have a business. So that's what we got to do, you know, and it's our job to figure that out. We can't have everyone trying to do it for us. We need to be a little proactive. But if you can follow a simple system, then boom, boom, boom. You got a system. You got the videos, you got trainings, you can plug people in. You've got like a weekly flow of things that people can plug into. So you've got that there. You didn't have to think of it. It's there. You don't have to worry about it. You didn't have to make the RX experience. You don't have to like everything that's said in the video, but overall the video works. And then you can also know the videos, right? So if you're sending videos to people, your job is to train yourself on what's in the video. Write little markers down like, oh, you know, Dr. Ginger speaks at, I don't know, whatever you think's relative. And you can say, hey, around 3 minutes, listen to Dr. Ginger. She comes on and she's been on the Dr. Oz show. You know, Dr. Oz show. Yeah. Well, she's been on that. She works with us. So at 3 minutes, she comes on, listen to what she says. Now, if I said that to you and then sent you a link, you'd be like, dude, I got to listen to the stupid video to find out what the heck Dr. Ginger says at 3 minutes. Right. So you kind of like, you basically, put into their brain that they got to, like, they do, you know, whatever. This is witchcraft or something. I don't know what it is, but basically you do it and they are plugged in. They're going to want to look at the video. Yeah, 7 minutes. This guy, he was a Marine. He's on the video, whatever like relative to that person, you use that. Okay. And that anchors is what I was trying to get. That anchors the person to watch the video.
That's awesome. Steve, you're always really cool and smooth in the way that you talk to people and present things. And I'm sure that that's come from many years of practice and going through the growing pains of, I'm excited and I want to tell them everything. And I see a question in the comments here that says, what do you do to settle down and not word vomit at the time due to total excitement? Because I think a lot of us do that.
Was that
Daryl?
That Daryl? No, who was that?
That was Beth.
Oh, Beth.
Beth.
Okay.
Beth.
Well, Beth, I'm about to bring you on, Beth. You about to get
Beth,
on.
let's do it right now. I'm going to do something with Beth right now. I hope you pay attention. Let's go, Beth.
Here you go, Beth. You're unmuted.
Am I unmuted? Hello.
Yes, you are.
Hey, Beth. How are you?
It's hard to just, because you're just so excited and it's just like, blah, the words come flying.
What do you,
What-
and
what
when,
are
what are
you
you
doing?
excited? Like, what do you mean?
Oh, just the products and the business and just that whole package. I'm
So
very
you're excited about it, right? Okay, so there's, okay, I
calm
got it.
down
So,
before
so
you-
your enthusiasm is what you're talking about.
yeah.
So we don't want to stifle your enthusiasm. We want you to be enthusiastic, right? But we want it to match up with the prospect, right?
Okay.
So if I'm not as enthusiastic as you being really super enthusiastic might freak me out, right?
Totally.
Okay. So there's, gosh, we could do them all, but like it's so much. It's like these are like big trainings all in one. I'll show you what I would do with, so I can be very excited. Like I'm totally excited about what's happening, right? But I'm on the phone with, and you're talking about like speaking to someone in person?
Either way, I mean, I worry that, you're throwing so much information so fast that things are getting missed because part of it is I teach kindergarten. You're entertaining all day. So that feel that you've got to get it all out because you lose their attention in 3.2 minutes. I think is part of my,
So is this you doing a presentation, like sitting down with someone and showing them something?
Could be, yes. Or even just on the phone. I mean, any of it.
Like inviting them to come hear about it? Yeah. So you look like calling Steve up and, hey, Steve, you got to check this out, man. You can make $1 million. Just real excited. You're just throwing everything out there. Hey, these wonderful products make you lose weight.
It'd be very valuable. I hope you guys all listen to this. Can you do it? Like if I was a prospect, what would you say to me?
I am not even there yet. That's the problem. I don't even know how to start.
Okay. So you haven't, okay. All right. So so write these things down, okay? And I've done this before and you might be bored with it, but it's like how I follow it. So there's a process to invite anyone, right? And Tim Sales came up with it many years ago. That's how I got to meet him because I basically liked his training and I called him up and I said, can you come do a training for my team? And he did. And that's when we started to become friends. And ultimately that led to becoming all of RX, which is crazy. So an invite. So I want to invite you out to dinner, right? Let's say, Beth, hey, Beth, we're going to go out to dinner this weekend. Like I want to invite you to dinner. So like let's say I already know you. So there's the first step. It's a greeting. Okay. This is where you get someone to speak openly and freely to you.
Okay.
How do you know when that happens? Like, how do you move? So there's a bucket. The first bucket is number one, greeting. Okay. For me to go to the invite, I got to find out what's happening with the person. So in the greeting, I need to find out like, what do they do for a living? I'm going to get them to speak about what they're themselves. Like, hey, how's it been going? What are you up to? I saw you posted that thing on Facebook. Is that your daughter? I mean, like, yeah. Oh, okay. How many kids you have? So now they're starting to talk to me, right? The reason I'm saying you don't have to worry about all that stuff being excited. You want the person you're speaking to, you want this person telling you about themselves.
Okay.
It's a little bit of a skill, but find out what's happening with them. What's going on in their world? That's what you want to do. Okay. And then get that person to speak about their life. Like if I was to ask you, hey, Beth, don't talk about RX right now, by the way, but like Beth, where are you from?
Billings, Montana.
Billings, Montana. What do you do there?
I'm a kindergarten teacher.
Oh my gosh. How is that going right now? Are you guys in person or?
There is no social distancing in kindergarten.
Oh my gosh. So you see how Beth's already laughing with me? Right? See, a lot of people hear, oh, you're a kindergarten teacher. Oh, okay. Good. But that's not, how long have you been? What else would you ask her about that? Lance, what else could you ask her? Like, how long have you done that? How'd you get into becoming a kindergarten teacher? Tell me about it. Right now, we're not talking about RX, New Age. Okay. You get it?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, how long have you been a kindergarten teacher?
Like for real?
For real?
14 years.
14 years. So what did you do before that?
Right before that, I was a stay-at-home mom. I stayed home when my kids were little,
Okay.
which is kind of where I'm at now as far as, looking at maybe 21 more years of teaching before retirement, and I'm almost 50. Well, So I need to, that's where we're
Did
at.
you go back to school like after your kids were growing, or did you already have a degree, or how'd that go?
I had my degree, and then I had a couple years teaching, and then we moved to Billings, and having 4 kids under the age of 8, daycare would have taken the paycheck. So
Oh yeah.
I got to enjoy and love every minute of being at home. And then when they were all in school, an opportunity came, and I did a preschool in the house while they were at school, but
Oh wow.
yeah. So kind of
And
the best
you-
of both, but
Now, where'd you move from Billings from where?
Casper, Wyoming.
Oh, okay. So you've been staying freezing your whole times.
Yeah, I'm not digging that part either. If anything pushes me to retire, it will be recess duty.
Oh my gosh. So did you guys do that? Like, did you do lockdown at all in COVID, or how did it go like with school?
From about the middle of March till the end of the year, we did virtual learning. But we started with the school year in person full time. We do a lot of hand washing. I'm under 3 minutes each time with the whole class.
That's pretty
Squirt
good.
soap, squirt some water, they suds, rinse and go, But yeah, we're full in class.
So is teaching something like you want to keep doing, or you said something about 21 more years? I mean, how do you feel about doing 21 more years teaching?
I absolutely love teaching, but I'm kind of in the same boat as Lance that
Pretend Lance isn't here.
so my youngest is graduating. We've got 2 married, we've got 2 grandbabiys. So that time thing, I'm there, South Carolina, I'm here, missing too much.
You see where I'm starting to try to get a why, like a reason why she'd want to do anything, guys?
Time and that flexibility. If I had the perfect scenario, I would like to replace my income completely and do, instead of teaching in the classroom in public, I would like to do a kind of a kinder jump program, because what we expect at this stage are too, there's so much expected, and preschool is so darn expensive. People just can't afford it. I would like to do something with the kids to get them ready.
So you instead of preschool, like kinder jump, is that what you called it?
Yeah. And then, you don't, if I've already replaced my income, I'm not having to worry about do this job for money. I mean, you can scholarship half the kids and
don't mention NewAge ARIIX, but like if you were saying these things to me, I would say, well, what have you looked at have you looked at any other ways to make more money, or what are you thinking of replacing your income? How do you think you're going to do that? Or how would you try to do that?
And you wouldn't,
I'm just talking to you as if you're not in the company.
No.
What's that?
Would I mention that starting a new business or?
Well, I'm trying to show them how to talk to a prospect. I'm pretending you can't say I'm in RX. Like I want to join RX. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when you were before all of this and you were looking at trying to make more money, what were the things you were thinking of? Or what, like when you say I need to replace my income, what in your mind comes to your mind? Like, oh gosh, I need to do something. Like what? And it's okay if you don't have an answer.
What was in the, because I was bartending weddings on the weekends and summers. So doing something that.
Isn't that interesting? I mean, now you're a bartender, kindergarten bartender. I like this.
At midnight, everybody acts the same.
Oh my gosh, it's 24-hour freaking kindergarten. So this is funny. And so this is how this is how I built my whole business, just doing conversations like this. It might take an hour, it might take 30 minutes. And then, at this point, what I wouldn't do, this is where you got to slow down, Beth, where you were talking about. So I'm starting to hear some qualifying things, right? Beth's already laughing with me. So the greeting is kind of accomplished, right? Where she's kind of openly speaking, talking to me about stuff. And so I may ask her a little bit more like, so what would the more money do for you? And it sounds like, you said you wanted to do improve on your kids and all that. So I would find the exact reason. And I would say, well, would you ever, and I could, so I'm qualified, so the second step is qualify, which Beth started to say things that were qualifying for the business, right? Not the products right now, for the business, because she wants to make more money. So I could just say, so Beth, what, you know, I have something that you may want to see where I could put you so you'd have more time. So you wouldn't have to work wedding, be a bartender at weddings on the weekends. Would you want to see, I have a way that could help you do that. Would you, a quick video, it's about 13 minutes. Would you want to see that?
Oh, that's short and sweet. I like that.
Yeah. Like if I sent you the video, would you want to, if I sent you the video, would you watch it? Right. So, and I might explain a little bit, but I was like, yeah, I actually, created an income. I work with people that create incomes or whatever I want to say there, just so it's not too weird, but I wouldn't go into any details about it. So I've got a video. It's done by some people that were high school teachers and coaches. Matter of fact, one of the guys was a principal. So I would tie the principal of Coach Palmer back into, I don't even think he's on the video, but like, just maybe he is. And I would point that back to, he was a principal. You understand that being a kindergarten teacher, and these guys found another way to make more money, and they've been very successful. It's a video. It's a business that I've been working on as well. And I thought maybe you'd enjoy the video. Would you want to take a look at it? Beth says, yeah. I said, when can you watch it? Beth says, tonight. I said, it's getting late. How about, it takes about 15 minutes. I could call you back in 20 minutes or, whatever. I let her tell me. I'll call me back. I'll watch it tonight and call me in the morning. And I would set a specific time, so I've invited her now. I've greeted, qualified, invited, and I closed to action step, meaning Beth's going to watch the video tonight. And at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, I'm calling or whatever the heck it is, because she's a teacher, so probably can't work that way. So tomorrow when she gets off work, I'll call. Okay. And we'll specific time, not call me tomorrow sometime. That doesn't work. A specific time. And then the follow-up will be the follow-up tomorrow. If she has questions, objections, I answer those. That's one of the steps. So it's greet, qualify, invite, close to action, not closing a sale, close them to an action. The action is they're going to watch a video. I'm going to set a time to call them back. I will call them back at that time. Okay. Nowhere in there did I mention the company. Did I get excited and went crazy, right? I'm matching their enthusiasm. I say, it's crazy. Like whatever. I could go into a little story, but I don't talk much about it. I found that the more I say, the less they watch.
That's what I worry about. Yeah. Okay.
If you talk about the name of the company, if you talk about the thing and all of that, I don't care, man. I don't care what they say. Like it just doesn't go as well.
Okay.
If this is someone I've never met, and I don't know them, right? I would definitely, even if I knew them, I'd probably do the same way. If they knew I was in something, then fine. But I would do it like that. So you spend more time talking about the person, learning about their background, what's going on with them. Be interested in the person, not interesting. If you're talking about everything, you're being interesting to them. And if you think you need to lay out a whole bunch of facts about RX to them, then you're never going to get started and you're never going to get going, because you're going to never know when do you know enough. So you can be the perpetual student and never the actual assassin. I'm just kidding. You don't want to get back you want to be in the game. You might want to be working the business, right? So you don't want to just be a student. No one gets paid for just learning about stuff. Okay. This isn't a PhD program, joking. So basically that's what I would do, Beth. And that's how you can overcome your stuff. And just remember, if someone's speaking kind of softly, then you need to speak at their soft level, a little bit more than them, a little bit faster than them, but not, hey, how's it going? Yeah, and the person's like, huh? Right? It's too much, right? Too assertive. So there's a communication quality. So I'm not going to cover all those. But if you follow that greet, qualify, invite, close to action, follow up, and then, follow through with them. Anytime one of the steps is handle questions or objections, that can happen at any point. They could have said right there, oh, this sounds like I was in one of those businesses, it's like an MLM. And you can say, oh, what do you know about MLM? Tell me about it. What was your experience? Yada, 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 right? So now I'm handling the objection, and then I would try to handle that objection, then come back and invite them, still invite them, okay? Go back to the step where I was at. Honestly, if you just did what I just talked about, 553, and you started working on conversations like this, I'll see you in Mexico. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're going to have fun. Like, you're going to make money and it's going to work out. If you get sidetracked and you do a little bit of this and you do a little bit of that, you're going to be doing a little bit of nothing. Okay. You're going to be a whole lot of nothing. Right. So try to stay focused on the 553, having quality conversations with people, be interested in them, not interesting to them, and be interested, right? Be interested is, Melissa, tell me where you're from. What did you do there? How'd you become a kindergarten teacher? Like, that's interesting. You want to be interested in the people you're going to work with. You don't want to just be like, hey, here's a video, right? Like, you don't even know who the person is, right? Like, that's how the business is built. It starts with a relationship. It's a relationship build business. You want to start building the relationship, right?
Thank you so much.
You bet. And it's the classic one of you go in. I mean, I don't know who meets anybody in a bar, but like the bad example of, you don't just go up to the opposite sex and say, hey, let's go to bed, right? Like, you got to like go on a date. You got to learn about the person. You got to get to know the people, right? Like, it's the same thing with your prospects. And what network marketers have been classically, like, they get a bad rap is because they just go and say, hey man, I'm in this company. You got to check it out, dude. It's off the charts. It's rocking. And then they invite them to look at the thing and people are like, oh my gosh, shoot me, right? So you don't want to be like that. Be different. This is how I built my any prospect I ever talk to, I always learn about them. Anytime I violate, meaning I decide to skip steps, it screws up. I've purposely screwed up the steps on calls. Like, in other words, not really, I started talking too much in the greeting, started talking about myself and all of these things, and just to see what happens. And people just aren't that interested.
That makes sense.
I'm like number 3 in the whole company. Like, it doesn't matter. They don't care. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean anything. Matter of fact, I don't want them to know that. Right? That's like too out of reach. So all I found in network marketing is you either make too much money or don't make enough, right? So there's like, it doesn't matter. You make too much or don't enough, not enough. And so don't focus on how much you've made. Focus on what you're doing and why you're doing it. If someone has questions like how much money you're making, hey, I just got started, but I work with people that are like full-time, like, you know, make $1 million a year doing this. But I'm doing this because of why would you want to do it? Oh, that makes sense. I want to get like blah, 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 blah. Because they just want to make sure someone's doing it and like they feel like, you know, a lot of people don't even know what the hell to answer for the questions. So they just ask stupid stuff, right? But that's okay. We can handle it. We're good, right? So that's the key to the business, man. If you guys just did this part, all the other stuff takes care of itself. You'll get customers out of this. Someone's not interested in the business, say, hey, well, do you see a product there that you may like? Like, you just don't give up, right? Don't take no for an answer, you know, and you know, be interested in the people, learn about them. And then you didn't learn anything about me, Beth. And then you'll come back and say, that's Steve, man. He really is. He's you know, he's so interesting. You're like, you don't even know anything about me. I ask questions about you. This is what people do. And you'll know if they ask you your name at the end, sometimes when they don't really know you, and say, what's your name again? And you'll say, oh, I'm Steve. It's like, oh, okay. I always know when that happens, like they're totally interested. Like they're like, it went well. Doesn't mean even when you do all these things right, that everyone's going to join. Right? People see prices, they freak out of anything, whatever. That's just people, right? But that's why you do 553. So the ones that didn't make it through for whatever reason, you're going to have some that, boom, all of a sudden, like just like Lance did tonight, calls the guy, watches the video, boom, 3-way, he's a rep. You're like, how did that happen? You know what I mean? Like, wait a minute, that one just, boom, that just happened, right? Whereas the other ones that you thought were going to happen don't. You're like, man, what's happened to that guy? It happens to all of us, right? We all have the people that don't, I thought that guy was going to sign. What is wrong? Like, he has another, He's got COVID for the 5th time. What the hell? Like, he's gone again. Where is he? Like, you know what I mean? Like, some people, it's like, I like had so many tragedies in their life. I was like, wow, like, I don't even want to call this person anymore. So, because everything was an excuse, basically. But that's it. And you just stay bright-eyed and bushy-tailed doing this, and don't bring your bull crap in your brain from work and from your fam, from whatever. And you just focus on this. And this is your time to speak with people and learn about them, make new friends, and then be purposeful. And so when you're doing this, and then you're directional of people, say, hey, okay, how'd you like that video? Great. Okay, stand by. Don't say, can I do a 3-way call with you? Like, just say, hey, hold on one second. I need to hold on one second. And then I always do it like that. Like, I want to introduce you to somebody, stand by. And so boom, I get someone on the call, say, hey, listen, I was just talking to, Todd. Todd was a football coach just like you. And he's one of my full-time income earners. And I know you had a question about blah, blah, blah. Todd, can you tell him about that? Boom. Okay. And then let it go. And then when you 3-way call, your job is to shut up and let them talk. Okay. You could interject and say, hey, he also had this question about this. Okay, boom. But then don't be saying, well, but Anthony, you didn't tell him about that one thing. What about that other thing, Anthony? No, let them do the 3-way call. Okay. Just some advice. All right. So hope that works for you guys. Otherwise, we'll be here all night. It's 8 o'clock, 11 o'clock Eastern. Hello. So
that worked perfect, Steve. I mean, hey, I'm reading the comments and everybody's saying value. For me, I just love how you just keep it simple. There was nothing, he didn't tell you, hey, you had to be in the suit and tie, you had to dress. He just kept it real, have the conversation, get to know the person, see where they're at, and, ask them to check out something and, come back. I love the simplicity. That's why I always
remember, do a good job in the greeting, right? Someone starts telling you about themselves, ask about the things that they say. If you don't know anything about the fact that they were in the Army, just said, well, what did you do in the Army? Like, they could tell you. And if they tell you something like, I was a, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, what's a blah, blah, blah? Like, what is that? So now you're asking more questions because you're genuinely interested, right? And the person's like, oh, it's so this. Oh, okay. How, did you enjoy that? Right? Like, so you're trying to track with them. They're telling you a story and you're trying to like follow in behind them. Okay. That's the key to the business right there in the beginning. That's where most people blow it. And then they say, this is hard. I quit. No, don't be that person, right? Get this part down and it'll rock your world. It'll be like the best. And then if you just start, even if you're doing 2, 2, 1, okay, fine. Better than 0, 2, 2, 1. And then you start doing 5, 5, 3. Okay. There you go.
Thank you.
Awesome,
Thank you.
Steve. Thank you so
Right,
much. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Steve.
Thanks, Lance. Good job, Lance. Way to go, Michelle.
All right. Hey, thank y'all so much, everybody, for tuning in either on Facebook. We got a lot of comments on Facebook. We have comments here. Hey, thank y'all for tuning in. Next week, we'll be back. We're actually going to talk a little bit about some of the things we're learning in the GoPro Accelerator. So y'all feel free to tune back in next week as well. Me and Michelle will be back. And then we'll have another special guest in 2 weeks as well. So thank you again, Steve. Hey, this was by far value. If you want the recording, I have the recording of tonight. And it's also in RX Nation already on the Facebook Live. You can go watch it. Tag somebody. Beth, I did hear that you were brand new. So welcome to our family. So that worked out perfect. Welcome to the
shoot. Okay. A teacher. Teachers are some of the best people in network marketing, by the way.
Teachers and coaches.
There you go.
So you already had so you know about systems. You had your kid, you had little kids organized enough to wash their hands in 3 minutes. So that means you put together a system. Well, Steve just gave you probably the simplest system you could ever do. And if you can duplicate that, we'll be all in Mexico because I'm going too. I'll be right there with you, Steve.
All right, guys.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
All right, everybody.
Appreciate you as always. Everybody have a good night.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Definitely value.
Hey, Aunt B, Wednesday.
Everybody.